several, multiple hosts, in fact, from different bioregions in Europe, 7 bioregions. Over the past months, we have all created a film that feature change makers in our territories. And all of these territories are part of the Bioregional Weaving Labs collective. You will get a chance to pick 2 out of those 7 films, and we'll let you know how this works later on. So you will have the opportunity to see 2 films. They are about 6-7 minutes, and then have an interaction with the people who work in the territory, some of the change makers that are featured in the film, and some of the film makers that have also been involved in this. So you will have this interaction with 2 of the teams. And then I would like to now hand over to Peter, who is also part of the Backbone team, coming from his roots in Common Land. Peter, over to you to lead us into the films.
Lovely. Thanks so much, Janneke. And as much as I share similar Dutch roots, I'm calling in from Southeast Ireland, where I'm based, and representing Common Land Foundation, which is one of the Backbone partners. Backbone may be a new term to you. So there's 4 organizations supporting 7 bioregions, but the collective represents 20 organizations at the moment. So we are a large collective and supporting a growing number of landscapes across Europe. And maybe to start a little bit to the basics of Bioregional Weaving Labs, I can start with reading out the mission. Our mission of the collective is to mobilize 1 million change makers to restore, protect, and regenerate 1 million hectares of land and sea in Europe. And I think tonight is a beautiful moment for us with nearly 400 people live joining. I think we get a really tangible sense of the momentum in the movement. So it's a really exciting day for us, and also a premiere or a first time that we're hosting such a large event and have such a diverse and global crowd joining us in this effort. So we're very excited. So it's my job tonight or today, this morning, wherever you're calling in from, to just take us through some of the logistics. I know we are probably all logging in from different time zones, different computers, different devices. So I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible so that everyone ends up in the right place, watching the right movie, talking to the right people. So let me start with that. After this little introduction, we're all going to be invited to join a separate room. So you might be familiar with Zoom and with breakout rooms, but in a moment, breakout rooms will open. And this may be during this introduction, and we ask you not to immediately jump in, but just to make sure you have all the instructions ready to make sure you end up in the right place. So as Janneke said, there will be 2 sessions you can join. All of the videos will be shared afterwards, so you can watch all of them. But during this live session, there'll be 2 of you to join and interact with 2 of the groups. So we'll have a first round, and we'll come back and we'll immediately go into a second round. So to make sure you go in, there's going to be a moment of just very short introductions to each one to help you make a choice. But when we get into, in order to then get into the rooms, there's going to be sort of a go, all right? You can all go. You can then find the rooms in multiple ways. All right, so that should be that. Within each room and in this main room, there will be a technical person to make sure we all find our way. There's nearly 400 of us that have to navigate 7 rooms. So there's going to be a little bit of logistics involved. But hopefully that all works out. If you're in the room, then there will be people there welcoming you and taking you through introducing the bioregion, introducing the video, and there'll be the interaction within that room afterwards. So when you're in the breakout room and there's going to be the video is going to be shown first. So it's probably best experienced full screen. So try to create a cinematic experience for yourself. You can do that in the top of your screen with the little green dot on a Mac, or it might be a different color on the Windows or on a PC. But we do encourage you to enjoy the film in full screen and with sound on. Moving to some very brief introductions and sort of pitches of the weaving teams and the weavers. So the first on the list to introduce will be Sarah. Sarah, what is your bioregion about?
I'm weaving in Southeast Ireland. It's a beautiful area. It's picture perfect, green and lush, and a lovely coast of sandy coves. And yet it's also an area where there's massive pressure on export of milk products and beef. and so the water and soil and human health is under great pressure. So we're there trying to weave some of the more regenerative fragmented initiatives together to see if we can bring about landscape transformation. So you'd be very welcome. Please join us in the Irish Breakout Room.
Lovely. So that's room number 1, Southeast Ireland. We then move to southern Spain, to the Altiplano Estepario landscape. Antonio, can you give us a short introduction?
Can have the opportunity on see one of the most arid part of this BWL, how we bring solution. I think it's so important to the rest of the community. And it's around 1 million of hectares that we want to restore through a holistic way, basically with regenerative agriculture, ecosystem restoration, and also with the empowerment of the rural areas with business case, also creation of a new business case. And we believe that we cannot only restore the land if we don't restore the heart and the minds. So you can find some project that the people collaborate together for restore the land also. The social aspect, the inspiration, return is so important also. So thanks.
Lovely. Thanks, Antonio. So from southern Spain, we go east to Romania. And Gabi, the floor is yours to introduce your landscape.
Hello. As you can already see behind me, you are looking now at some of the last virgin forests of Europe. And we are inviting you to these lands where those are still homes for thriving populations of bears and wolves, for example. But our story that you're going to see today is not necessarily just about nature, but it's about the connection between people, local people and their nature. And in just a few minutes, you have the chance to step into the micro-universe of Oltenia de sub munte, which is translated to Oltenia under the mountain. And through a short film, you have the possibility to see the locals who are going to share their dreams, their challenges, and their deep connections to the land that is supporting them.
Lovely. Thanks, Gabi. So we only go a little bit south, but into the Mediterranean area, to Greece. So Shayla, you're next.
Να σεβόμαστε, να φροντίζουμε, να γιορτάζουμε τη ζωή σε όλες τις μορφές της.
Hello, welcome everybody. In our breakout room, you will get to know the Laconia initiative, an initiative located in the very south east of Peloponnese. We have a lot of, a very low population density. Many young people left already the country. So in our initiative, you will see how through arts and culture, but also through regenerative agriculture, because in our region, agriculture is a very important aspect, how we try to also change the narrative for the people still living there, but also for the people wanting to move back, to weave back together the social fabric and change the narrative that we actually can take charge of our realities and co-create them, and also to give visibility to initiatives already existing that we don't know about, to bring hope to the region and especially to the young as well.
Thanks, Shayla. So you may see some notifications about breakout rooms. We're just getting things sorted. We're a large group, so bear with us as we're introducing the last 3 regions. So we're flying back to Edo and Janneke in the Netherlands.
river and the stream are like a mirror. When the water is healthy, all of life is thriving.
In our film, you will hear the voice of our watershed calling on us and how to take care of her so that she can take care of us. This requires a cultural change. We will see this through the eyes and experiences of 3 people living in our watershed.
We can't compete with wolves and bears.
Luckily, it's not a competition.
No,
It's
exactly.
a celebration of our diversity. Lovely. We then move again a bit more Central Europe to Termelingen in Austria, Eastern Austria. Norbert, the floor is yours.
Thank you. In our breakout session, you're going to see a movie about conservation effort in the Termelingen region. And according to the recent study by the Austrian Environmental Agency, which compares all regions in Austria, the Vienna Basin, including the Termelingen, hosts the highest numbers of the rare and endangered species and habitats in the country. And today we're going to see in the film 3 different people who, through their unique contributions, support this area with their activities. Yeah, that's it, I would say.
Thanks, Norbert. Thanks so much. And from Austria, we are moving a little bit north again to Poland. So over to you, Eva.
Good evening. Welcome to Middle Vistula Valley. It's the middle part of our biggest river, the last wild European river. And we live, it's about 200,000 people living in this region, and very beautiful nature, still nice forest and even lakes, and a lot of islands on our river with very unique birds. And also we have a group of organic farmers which started to cooperate, and an educational center where we try to promote and teach about the value of biodiversity. And in our film, you will meet 3 of us. So it will be Kamil, who is beside me. He is an organic farmer, very open for cooperation. It will be me, who is responsible for our teaching educational initiative. And it will be Magda, who is director of the outdoor museum, where we try to discover the very interesting heritage, multicultural heritage in Poland, where we have German and Dutch settlers who promoted very environment-friendly practices in building and agriculture. So it's very new bioregion, because we have not been functioning a year, but we are very enthusiastic and invite you to our place.
Lovely. Thank you, Eva, and thank you for that invitation. I do see that now the breakout rooms have been created. So maybe before we all go off in there, just a bit of framing for why we've created these videos. In the chat, you'll see which presentation is in which room. So get yourself oriented. You'll be able to see 2 today in this session. So start to already make up your mind. There's plenty of room for any and all of you in any of the rooms. So feel free to go wherever you feel called to and invited. We've created these videos to highlight some of the inspiring change that's happening on the ground. And these are always just some examples of everything that's happening in the region. There's plenty of more in the region. So do ask the weavers and hosts afterwards for more stories. But I think if I can get a go ahead from the team, maybe in our WhatsApp chat, let us know Yes,
Peter,
wonderful.
you can.
Great. So then we all go. So make sure you find the breakout rooms either in the bottom of your screen. They might be hidden behind those 3 dots. So feel free to start heading out. I see some of you already leaving. Welcome back. We're all back in the main room. It's like we all came out from different rooms back into the foyer. Unfortunately, we don't have drinks and refreshments for you and lovely snacks. That would have been wonderful in this event. But in a bit, we're going to be back into a second round. So the room numbers will stay the same. So hopefully our lovely team will post this in the chat. There we go. Thanks, Selena, for helping us. So the room numbers are again in the chat. You can pick another room to go to. And I should just mention before you all head off that all of the videos will be shared afterwards. So if you miss out, you can find them. And I should also say that this event is the world premiere of these videos. So it's the first time they're being broadcasted like this. So you're some of the first people in the world to see them, and you'll be able to share them around the world. So thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful next round. So there's one more round to go, and then we'll close with some reflections here back in the main room.
Welcome back. I see now the numbers coming in. Lovely to see all the faces. I hope you enjoyed your session. My name is Noah Lodijzen. I'm working with Ashoka. That's one of the partners of the Bioregional Weaving Labs. And now I hope you really enjoyed your sessions, the 2 sessions you were in. But we're also really curious to hear a bit more from you, how this experience was. Because the nice thing just to remember, we're here now with 307 people, and it's lovely to think that we're all change makers in this room, you know. So it's not only the change makers that we listened in the videos, but we are also having so many other change makers in the room, and we would love to hear some inputs and some reflections and maybe some thoughts and tips. So we would love to first go to we are going to have 3 questions, and we go now to the first question. In one word, how would you describe the 2 sessions? Just give us one word, and it's also lovely. We only have like quite short time for it. Just get a feel for what was in the room. Inspiring, insightful, everything is moving. I can't even read it. Wow, that's quite interesting. Awakening, hopeful. Inspiring seems to be quite high. It's nice because these are a lot of people are putting the names in, but it stays. Inspiring stays. Okay, let's go to the second question, because the second question we would like to go a bit deeper and take a bit more time. And the second question is actually a bit the same, but this time it would be, what are the key insights? See if, what are the key insights so far? Is there anything you can share from key insights? Visioning, collaborating, community, take time, go on. Social value, connection, storytelling. Still a long way to go. You always reach idealist and not the large majority. Let the landscape speak. Synergy. Okay, so this is also a lovely way that we can group it. So it's a bit about collaboration and community, vision and momentum, nature and connection, awareness and reflection, community, partnerships, synergy. So they're quite, we stayed with the words. We expected a bit more sentences, funny enough, but I think we stayed a bit with the words. Reality, momentum is building. I mean, personally, I feel it's nice to feel that at least we here all together here with change makers, and we actually haven't been touched yet. You know, we weren't trying to reach like the big audience yet, but maybe all together we can work towards really reaching a bigger audience. Hearts and minds are key for the wider change to be able to take hold. Yes, we can together. Connect with each other. Power of the region. Challenge and results should be more clear. Together, everyone achieves more. Building community is central. Time is up. Okay, let's go to the last question. how can we make this bioregional changemaker movement even more impactful? So we would love to get your ideas, thoughts, contributions, tips, but also maybe something you can do, spread the word, enter the mainstream advertising sectors, education of awareness, more inspiration to share, loss and damage, have more ambassadors, build the field starting with local, make it a policy. Have subgroups around different topics. That's a great idea because funny enough, in the Bioregional Weaving Lab, we're just launching that. So that's a nice, engage civic leaders, reach out to elementary schools, widespreading the videos, force EU to fund it. Some grouping is maybe nice. So community engagement and collaborations, there are a few topics on it. Education and awareness as a topic. Communication and storytelling, yeah. Funding and financial support, there are a few points there. Global and local networks, linking local to other groups, have support from the public regional development agencies, yes. Network across bioregions, share learning. Nice to get so much input actually in such a short time. So thanks everyone for putting it in. And we will put it all together and we will send out a post email and we'll try to group it and organize it, but it's also maybe nice for you to see it later. So 2 seconds left. Thanks everyone for your submission, and lovely if you have your last comments also in the last few minutes, then please put it into the chat. I would love to now ask everyone to, or no, ask Karin to take over from me. Thanks everyone, lovely to see you.
Thanks so much, Noah, and great to see all the inputs, and we really appreciate it. And glad you had an interesting experience in the breakout rooms. I'm Karen, and I work with Ashoka and one of the backbone organizations of the Bioregional Weaving Labs. And I have the pleasure to invite 2 guest speakers because when we started this work, we could have not known yet how big this bioregional movement is growing, and certainly over the past year. And to show you all that bioregionalism and creating bioregions and weaving in those bioregions is not something that is only happening in Europe, but is really on a worldwide scale. And we have 2 people representing more the global perspective. So I have the pleasure to talk with Joe Brewer and Samantha Power. And I would love to start with inviting Joe to the stage. Maybe Tijn can put a spotlight on Joe, if you can find him in this big group of people. But Joe, so nice to have you here. You are the founder of Earth Regenerators, the co-founder of the Design School for Regenerating Earth, the co-founder of the Fundación Barichara Regenerativa, and a steward for Bioregional Earth. Now, all these names, you will find them back in the resource document that we will share later with all of you. But Joe, from which bioregion are you calling in, and what is happening around you?
Well, Karen and everyone who's organizing, thank you for hosting this. It's such a beautiful healing medicine as we're watching the final stages of totalitarianism taking over one of the last global superpowers. Hopefully that'll become the end of that age soon. So I'm calling in from Barichara, Colombia, which is in the northern Andes, right in the center of an extensive cultural exchange network of indigenous people going back probably at least 14,000 years and possibly longer, the members of the Chibche language family. I'm in the ancestral lands of the Guane people. And what I wanted to share with you all today is a little bit about what's happening in the Americas. today in this film series, you're getting a flavor for what's going on in Europe. And some of you on this call will know that the bioregional movement was very strong in North America in the late 1970s, throughout the 1980s, 1990s, and they were hosting continental bioregional congresses up until 2009. And where I'm from, in the Ozarks in Missouri, they had their 45th consecutive bioregional congress in the Ozarks last November. And so, or last October rather. So this is a movement that goes back 2 full generations in the Americas. And in Central and South America, they've generally not used the word bioregion as much, but talking about ancestral lands and territories has a multi-thousand-year history. And so what I wanted to share briefly is that some of the work that we are seeing happen and that we're able to help make happen is to activate bioregional processes across North and South America. And so we've been doing a lot of work in Cascadia, in the Great Lakes, in the Greater Takaranto bioregion specifically, in the Finger Lakes of upstate New York, in the forests of the Northeast, and the Colorado River Basin, and also where we live in the Northern Andes, building a network of territories collaborating around the regeneration of the Andes as a whole, starting with the Northern Andes and several of the headwaters communities of the Amazon, which is just to say there are a lot of local people doing very similar kinds of work that you've heard about today in their own local landscapes, with a lot to share with each other and a lot to share with what is happening in Europe. And then in our own work in the Design School for Regenerating Earth, which a few people have been kindly mentioning in the chat, I'm going to drop a link right now. We have a learning journey coming up in March called How to Organize Your Bioregion. So if you'd like to join us, come and play with us. And we're collaborating with people, not quite planetary yet, but there are people in Africa, people in Europe, people in Australia and New Zealand, and people across the Americas. So we've covered a large part of the planet, and it'll continue to grow. But one of the things that we're seeing is that the absurdity of political fictions, like our nation states, are just completely failing to address the complexity of our times.
So why do we need bioregions now, you think?
So this is one of those facts that you can look up and confirm, but that will probably sound shocking, which is about 90% of the nation states in the world were created after World War II. Before World War II, there were monarchies, there were fiefdoms, there were empires, there were dynasties, but there were very few nation states. And most of the nation states were formed after the League of Nations in the 1940s. About 90% of them. Just look at examples like the Soviet Union, Czechoslovakia versus Czech Republic. You know, make your list of names of nations and how much they have emerged and changed in less than 100 years. And the nation state is the most unsustainable form of social organization that humans have ever created. 0 nations, none, are sustainable. So they're all going away. But when you look at human history, 99% of human history was bioregional, which means people organized themselves into territorial landscapes with regional economic and cultural exchange networks, acting in harmony with the ecosystems of their places. So the natural condition for humans is bioregional.
Joe, we have to mind the time. I think you triggered something to think about, and we will put all your resources in a document that we will share with all the participants of this call. And you mentioned it already. You are starting a new cycle of your course that people can take part in, and I would really recommend it because it's a really nice starting point if you are interested in learning more about working on a bioregional scale. What would be, now that I don't know, which rooms have you been, Joe, just now?
I was in the room of the Altipano in Spain and the group in Poland in the Vistula Valley River. Really beautiful to see both of those bodies of work.
Yes, and what would you maybe have as a hopeful wish for us, for this community after this event is over? Can you close with a wish?
Well, my wish is that the long multi-thousand-year history of war and conflict that defines so much of European history becomes replaced by stewardship and care for your watersheds. If you could really care for your watersheds that truly do connect Europe, you'll find a deeper connection than the cultural differences that cause so many wars.
That's beautiful, Joe. I thank you so much for this deeper insight into our work. And thank you very much. And we go to our next guest, which is Samantha Power.
Nice to be with you all
Hi.
today.
So nice to see you. How are you feeling on this day? Because we know, well, let us first know from what bioregion are you calling in today?
Yeah, I'm calling in from the bottom of Salmon Nation or Redwood Nation and the delta of the Bay Delta bioregion in Northern California, in what is now known as Oakland, California, on the unceded territory of the Ohlone people. And as Joe mentioned, it's a bit of a weird day today here in the United States. It is both Martin Luther King Day, one of my favorite holidays, such an inspiring day for economists like myself who believe in our ability to create a beloved economy that serves the needs of everyone and is rooted in justice and the creation of beauty. And it is a very worrisome day with the inauguration of Donald Trump. And so I'm feeling a lot of feelings today, but I'm definitely feeling bioregional hope and really enjoyed the two breakout groups I got to be in, the one in Spain and the one in Ireland.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, before we go further into the questions, you have worked with the World Bank for a period of time, so that gave you a lot of insights. Then you decided to found the BioFi project, which people can also find in the chat and find more information later. Really focusing on financing the work that we have seen now in the rooms, the work that the change makers are doing and the weaving labs. And you were also the co-author of a book, Bioregional Financing Facilities, that you co-authored with one of our colleagues, Leon Seeveld. What do you think that now that you've watched the films and you've been reminded again and again with all the persons you work with about the work in the bioregions, do you think funders and investors are ready for this kind of approach, for this bioregional approach?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Karen. And I believe they are. And it's been quite an emotional start to the year here in California with the fires in LA and of course with the inauguration of Donald Trump. And at the same time, I feel that as we witness more collapse and deeper failure for nation states to serve ecological regeneration and to address the risks that we are facing in the midst of the meta crisis and the sixth mass extinction, it is becoming clearer and clearer that the only way to do this work is from the bottom up and in a way that involves much deeper democracy and tools of participatory budgeting and participatory governance and democratic envisioning that taps into the collective intelligence of a place, both the human intelligence and the intelligence of the more than human life in a place. And we at the BioFi project look at the full range of capital sources that could potentially fund bioregional regeneration, from philanthropic grants to public grants to private return-seeking capital. And
I think that is the special thing about it, right? That this form of organizing can also attract new types of funding because we do it collectively, and we're also asking funders and investors actually to do this collectively with us. So that is what I find so beautiful about it. Samantha, we have little time. Could you maybe close off as well, just like Joe, by expressing what you have as a message? Maybe, with your background now that people know that you are working on finding new ways of financing this work. Do you have any hopeful message to close off with?
Sure. Yeah, I was so inspired by the videos I watched of what the bioregional leadership teams in those places are up to. And my kind of message or call to action would be, how do we think about becoming wholes that are bigger than the sum of their parts? So how can we come together with more people in our bioregions to develop what we call at the BioFi project synergistic portfolios of projects that together contribute to supporting landscape scale, watershed scale, bioregional scale regeneration, and developing project portfolios that are ready for investment to flow. And as I was mentioning, all of those investors have an incentive to invest in this type of organizing, in this type of regeneration right now. And I'll send a link in the chat, Karen, to the BioFi Cultivator program that
Yes,
the BioFi project
that's
is launching
excellent.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Where we'll be taking 20 bioregional leadership teams from across the Americas through a process to design the world's first bioregional financing facilities. And we're excited to share what we learned there.
Yeah, let's definitely connect with the European network. We're doing also lots of things, and it's beautiful that the Americas and Europe and Africa and Australia and Asia, they get all connected through these learning networks. So thank you so much, Samantha. We're closing this part off, and I would love to give the word back to Edo and Janneke and our weavers. Thank you, Samantha and Joe.
So we wanted to close this evening with you by listening to giving a final word to the weaving teams from the different bioregions. And we would like to invite each of them to share with us, just much like Samantha just did, their own call for action. So I would first like to call Sarah. Sarah, what would be your call to action for this large community that we are celebrating tonight?
I think there's been so much information coming. I think is to calm down, to go out, think which bioregion are you in? How are we making 4 returns? So how is inspiration coming back to us all? And I would like to invite people to spend a little bit more time on our films. We've got other films. This was an 8-minute film. And we've got a lovely one that's 1.5 minutes called Multi-Species Sword, which was sand art. And we've got a 50-minute one. So if you really have got your popcorn, to sit back and watch 50 minutes about innovating finance on a landscape scale, and you'll find them on bioregion.no. Bioregion.ie, sorry. Bioregion.ie is our website, and there's a video list there. Go and watch those 2 films in particular, I think, and listen to our manifesto, 3 films there. Go play around on that site.
Thank you, Sarah.
I'll share the link.
Thank you so much. So I would love to hear Antonio.
Okay, thank you, Edo. I will put in the chat now the links and so on. But first of all, one thing that pop up in the session is start with regenerate your inner regeneration after you can regenerate the land and other part of the world. And how we will make this year an event to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the association, and will be in November an open day door, so people can know more about our association and can start to make this connection. Other ones that we will celebrate, because if we don't celebrate, it's like we don't make the step. So like Sarah mentioned, the inspiration is a key. And we want to celebrate also with a cinema and cultural rural in our territory in June also. An event that we promote this ancient with modern collaboration. And the last one is, of course, sign our manifesto that is inside of our video also. The first chain maker explain better than me, Santi. Sign the manifesto, but I will put all this in the chat for you have more clarity and the links and when will be the event. So we wait for you in our territory.
Thank you, Antonio. That's wonderful. Then we would like to invite Gabby. Gabby, what would be your call to action for this group?
My call to action is to grow together and to amplify our impact through learning from each other, because while we know that we have some strengths and we are very good at some things, we have so many things to learn in other fields, in other directions. So if something from what we do ring the bell for you, and you feel like maybe it's a space to collaborate, to exchange some information, to do something together, even though this means to just learn from each other, let's do this. And you know that how you can reach out to us from the document that you're going to share with our contacts. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabi. And then I would love to invite Sheila from Greece.
Thank you. Yes, I would say dare to have a bold vision and to voice it as well, even if it's not very common in your local regional context to dream differently. People need this hope, I think, and you will immediately find your allies. And also connect to your own bioregion. But besides that, when you see any Greeks, please tell them about our initiative, and eventually they are even from our region, tell them, hey, maybe go back to Greece and join this initiative. We will post the link in the chat. And thanks a lot.
Thanks, Sheila. Greeks tend to turn up in many places, so it is well possible. Norbert, can I invite you to share your call to action with the rest of the group?
Great. So I would like to invite you to participate in our activities too. If you are around Vienna, you should come to us and work with us. And additionally, we also offer free guided tours around our Termenlinie, around our region, and you can learn more about the natural environment and the surroundings area. And you should also check out the CSR initiatives for companies, maybe in your region too, and reach out for them, and maybe you go to the company and ask about their activities for the nature, so you can work together. That would be call to action for me. That would be my call to action for you.
Thank you, Norbert. And then I would like to invite our dear Eva. We would love to hear your final words from Poland.
Okay. So it's short. So let's remember that everything is interconnected. Let's restore our connections, ties with nature, with other people, with our spiritual life, to discover a deeper hope and inspiration for us and next generations.
Thank you, Eva. Thank you so much to your whole team for this call to action. Then to close off, we will share our call to action with you. Do you want to do that?
Well, I think Eva set the stage already for us, and we would like to say that we would like for you to remember your role as caretaker of all of life, as part of life also, and in that sense also very much connect to your territory and the spirits and the ancestors of your territories as part of who we are and what we do.
And be courageous.
Thank you so much, Janneke and Edo. And I pass on the word to Tijn, because Tijn has an announcement for you before you go. Tijn?
Yeah, just a little announcement, and I'm just so happy to see everyone, and I'm just super excited to share because I've been seeing so many different links that were passed around in this chat, and I think we captured before the meeting started, we already captured most of them. So I'm just going to share a document you always have access to after the meeting, and just to show that if you go to our newsletter, we created the Bioregional Weaving Guide. and it includes a lot of different beautiful links to make sure we don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. And it includes a lot of research on bioregioning, but also on weaving and change making. And it includes a lot of different things, like also a recent podcast, which is a great introduction, but also the Foragers guidebook by Commonland. And we made a massive map with 150 initiatives that are working on bioregional regeneration. So you can also really find your bioregional tribe. And it also includes the design school for regenerating Earth and the BioFi community of practice. So there's many things to explore, and really to encourage you to find your bioregional tribe, because we really believe they're already out there. And then we also have an overview of wonderful books that can really help you dive deeper into bioregional weaving, a lot of different courses. For example, how to organize your bioregion by Joe. So many things that were mentioned tonight, they're also present here. Also a wonderful calendar. I'll just go through it briefly. And then also, of course, the wonderful videos you saw, including all the call to actions. So then you can have another look of how you can get involved into the greater bioregional movement. So here are more videos, and then even more further reading and watching. And we also highly encourage you to help co-create this document and to put comments in the chat. And we'll also make sure to go through all the comments, to also include all your wonderful resources, and all really connect all the wonderful work that is already happening on the ground. Yeah, and you'll find the link to everything that's mentioned here in the chat. But just really want to thank you for coming together on this beautiful evening and transforming into, really feeling hopeful after this evening, and being energized to see all these wonderful people together.
Thanks, Stijn. That's wonderful. And we're really on time. I think we deserve applause, isn't it? It's 2 minutes before 9. I can't believe it. So we still have 2 minutes time to open up our cameras. And then I give the word back to Edo and Janneke to do the final closing. And how nice would it be that you put your screen on gallery view, that we see all these people, because there's still 230 people in this call. So thank you so much for making the time. You really made our day. And over to you, Edo and Janneke.
Tonight, it has become very clear that as humans, we can play a crucial role in supporting life in our territories, a vital role. So we invite you to stay courageous, to stay connected, and to keep this energy that we generated tonight with you, because it will feed you and we will need it in the coming time. Thank you so much and have a great evening. Bye, everyone.
Thank you very much.
See you soon. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. That's so funny. Yeah. Bye, guys.
Amsterdam
Bye. Doei. Bye, everyone.
You're going to have to kick us out, I think.
No, we're not going anywhere.
Sorry.